Okay, I'm gonna start letting everyone in.
Okay, inshallah, we'll start. We'll just go ahead and start minute at 5:32. So it's 5:31. Inshallah, we'll start in 2 minutes.
Okay. And yeah, I need everybody who's a performer to message me so that I can tell you your order. To make sure we have everyone here.
Okay, so what? How many do you have?
Of the people, we have 1, 2, 4. We have 4 people. The first person is not here, so we'll just change the order.
No. We'll go with whoever's on time.
Yeah. We'll change the order from the list, but I know he's here. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so it's 5:33. Inshallah, we'll go ahead and get started. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum, and peace be upon everybody who's here. Inshallah, we wanted to thank you all for coming out to the first annual Poetry Slam. Hopefully not the first annual virtual Poetry Slam, but the first annual Poetry Slam of And just wanted to give everybody a little background. Stands for the American Muslim Intercultural Network, and it's an organization that has like 4 main focuses. The first one is caring for people. We seek to take care of people who convert to Islam, people who are seeking Islam, and those who are reconnecting to faith or reconnecting to the divine. The second one is creating connections through social activities, through honest dialogue. We have book clubs, things like that, where we can kind of get to know each other through discussion, community engagement, outreach, community service, community outreach. And lastly, creative cultural expression, which is, the whole point of the Poetry Slam is we can curse the darkness of the culture and like the music and this and that, or we can shine a light. And our hope is to shine a light in the darkness by creating positive culture that's culturally reaffirming, that's culturally uplifting, and that's the point of the artist, is to uplift the consciousness of the culture. We do this through, clothing design, arts festivals, film screenings, and discussions. Again, we kind of try to raise the consciousness of people, ourselves first, and those who go on this journey with us. So tonight, we're having a Poetry Slam under the theme of silver linings. The past few months have been tough for, most of us. It's been different. But there are, in any calamity, there are silver linings. So we wanted to talk about that. What are the silver linings here? And then do it in the form of poetry, which for many of us, we're just fans of poetry. Myself, I'm a fan of poetry, not a writer of poetry. I enjoy it. I'm a connoisseur of poetry. So y'all going to look forward to hearing some good poetry tonight. And I wanted to introduce our judges. First one is Miss Lauren Gigo, who is a English teacher at Soulsville Academy, an English and a drama teacher. And she's from the best state in the 50 states, Michigan, and she's a graduate of the University of Michigan as well. And our second judge is Sister Denise Abdullah, who's a librarian at the Memphis Public Library. And she's also the head researcher of the organization. Whenever we want to know something, Ms. Abdullah is the one who can find it out. And every organization needs a researcher. Thirdly, I think it's Sister
from the great state of New York.
MashaAllah, from the great state of New York. Sister Sabra Wright, who's a local educator here, who's born and bred in Memphis. as well. She's an instructor here. She's an instructor in ACT prep and also a homeschool teacher leader. And fourthly, our brother Tariq Toure, who I just found out is in the greatest city in the state, not in the state of Michigan, but in the country of America currently, my hometown, Detroit, Michigan. And Sister Sabria will go ahead and introduce him, give a little bit of his bio.
Assalamualaikum, everybody. So I'll read some of Brother Tariq's bio because it's very lengthy, mashallah, he's done a lot. But so Tariq Toure is a poet and native son of West Baltimore that has produced art reaching across hearts and continents. His poetry and prose have been featured in award-winning publications such as Muslim Matters, Salon, Washington Post, Al Jazeera, The Nation magazine, and Sapelo Square. Black Seeds, Toure's debut collection of poetry ranked among the top in African American poetry and literature, releases in Black History Month. Oh, it already released, so you guys can check it out on Amazon, I believe, and on his website. He has been a featured lecturer and performer at Howard University, Princeton, Georgetown, among many others. He has been regarded by legendary hip-hop artist Black Thought as the Amiri Baraka of our era. Imam Omar Suleiman has identified Tariq as a vessel of the Muslim community. He is a 2020 winner of the Short Film Award from the Center for Global Muslim Life for his film Dear Beloved Son, as well as many other accomplishments, both artistically and in advocacy and engagement. So if you have a chance, go check out his website. You can read much more about his bio. But inshallah, he'll be doing an opening performance for us today.
Alhamdulillah, thank you so much for that gracious and may Allah allow me to attempt to live up to what's printed on that on that page. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin al-Fatih lima وبلغ الخاتم ما سبق ناصر الحق صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. I'm a concoction of Cochran and DeAndre Hopkins. I deal in trade, catch fades, and dole out doctrine. I'm from where they let the long nose ring like Rodman, with blacked out cars skirt like Scotland, and Hershey Topman. I'm at work, just watch when I get these verses clocked in. I'm a poems poet. I'm a locksmith. I hold keys from the kingdom to the coroner's office. And as important as art is, to properly perceive what was poured in this artist, we'll have to begin by exploring the coffins. The first lock I ever picked was to a funeral home to see why so many kids were taken to the dome, why we were recruiting the chrome. And my OG said, no, in hell could we do it alone. No matter how many times they loop it in songs and Gregory Hines around the issue, the truth is translucent and known. So lo and behold, I was birthed and immersed in the tradition of transmitting the mission to the masses. So the muscle memory bank is lifting for the mass and lifting up the caskets so the world could never get it backwards. I'm one of the kids that flipped upon the mattress, then was told to slip up in them classes. Don't give up till it's mastered. Grip up on the masters. Mix it with knowledge of self and switch the whip up on the masters. To only climb the mountain if it's massive. I'm a walking, talking, marching order to be a margin forcer. So I'm splitting continents and dissolving borders. I'm a pen pirate on ink oceans, guard your water. I'm an oral orca. And I've been wailing on pages since the Middle Passage porters, sort of. So how did I get here? Well, that's God's intentions. As far as drip, they'll say Toure always brought the water with him. I called the lane in this game. That's a large incision. Don't know much, but I can tell you what a problem isn't. Burning the stage down, not a hard decision. Want my stripes? It's going to take a couple scars to get them. I'm 45, your open mic, no Rod and Pippin. Literary shots. We leave large and livers when every bar is a baptism. The applause is different. I'm a product of Malcolm calling out to Allah in prison. My mama Maisha moving through the mirage and prisms. Dear father, Imam Malik showed me where the art is hidden. I'm a grill out the mud. You better guard your business. Been everywhere. Grab a globe and start to spinning. But the Baltimore poets are liable to carve your kidneys. Just when you thought it's the last model, we enlarged the engine. So my fate is on stages, fade in anything under God's dominion. That's a fact. I see they've had the wrong opinion when the difference between us is clearly yards to inches for the money. That's an odd incentive. When the smoke been free, you get your pulse pause for pennies. Forrest Gump with gumption, you better guard your winnings. We've been training our whole life to swing far in innings. I'm at bat. Think I'm gonna let them catch Tariq slipping. They named me star, the room on Mars is plenty. Alhamdulillah, thank y'all so much for having this forum. And I'm really just excited to hear some poems. I haven't heard some poems live in a while, so I'm giddy. I'm like a kid walking into his first poetry joint. Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, thank you. So first up in our poetry slam, we will have Al Hussein Hadidi performing. Al Hussein?
Yeah. 1 second. All right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Sometimes Allah gives you a sign, but it's useless if it's there all the time, but you don't see. You see, let me tell you about me. I've been learning about my religion since I was 3. I learned about praying and fasting, all aspects of Islam. I even learned that on Eid we slaughter a lamb. I thought, man, it can't get any better than this. But little did I realize there was something amiss. You see, day by day I got older, and there are all these new feelings that I started to shoulder. I started thinking about how to advance in this world, make a large sum of money that I thought I deserved. Now, Shaitan has his own means of planting that doubt. He whispers, man, we all know you really want that clout. It's okay, cutting corners here and there is fine. It's not like you're cutting your relations with the divine. And just like that, it starts. Shaitan begins making his way into my heart. My sense of righteousness fades away and departs. I start living a sham. I smile and say salam, but I cheat on exams. I stand up for prayer, but my mind is not there. I do all the movements, but I'm not aware. And from that point on, it's a downward spiral. Every day is like the one before it. It is a cycle, except now it's worse. I started to curse. My sense of honor and demand began to disperse. My car was driving towards Allah, but now it's in reverse. I started going through haram ways to earn that cash. I started making decisions that others would deem real rash. I was out of control. I made all the wrong choices and I had the wrong goal. Shaitan had taken over my heart and my soul. I did my hardest not to think about my lack of iman. My religiosity was a river and I had built it a dam. But what can I do? It's this path that I choose. I try to ignore all the bad things I saw on the news. I hear about brothers and sisters getting shot, no questions asked, 3 students dead on the spot. Brothers and sisters running and fleeing, trying not to get caught while I'm just sitting here trying to look hot. Halfway across the world, someone's daughter is killed by a bomb. Blood trickles down her arm and into her palm. The wailing and crying of her loving arm. The wailing and crying of her loving mom while I'm lying on my bed snoozing my alarm. It's disgusting. I know what I'm doing is wrong. I know Allah is sending me the signs. This terrible life is not where I belong. It's like I'm sitting there and Timmy offers me some bacon, but I see a picture of myself in hell and I'm baking, I'm shaking. If I enter that place, there's no escaping. It's like I'm with the Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, and I'm searching and I'm looking for the promised land, but I can't find it. I know there's a lot of evil within me, and I ask myself, can Allah really forgive me? I have no hope, I can't focus. I have no belief in myself, I am hopeless. I ask my friend, is this my test that I'm living? After all this that I've done, how can I be forgiven? He smiles. He says, here's what you need. Remember, it's Allah you should please, and He's the most merciful, the most forgiving. If you seek His aid, repentance will be a breeze. Inna ma'al usri yusra. Indeed, with every hardship there comes ease. That cloud that was covering my mind and my heart was blown away by this breeze, and I fell down to my knees. I ask for Allah's forgiveness. In Him I am confiding, and that mist that's enveloping me is slowly declining. Now all I see is that silver lining, and subhanallah, if that nur isn't just blinding. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, snaps. Thank you, Al Hussein. Next, we will have Zainab Hashmi, who is our youngest contestant. And so we're giving her a warm welcome of applause. Okay, you're free to go when you're ready, Zainab.
Ascending from the darkness is early morning not far, stretching, pulling aside its blanket of stars. The sky grows rosy, opening its golden eyes, exchanging with night the blissful goodbyes. Clouds billow and twirl and softly lace, sky soft and hopeful, auspicious face. Though then sky cries, whimpering through tears, remembering darkness and midnight fears. The clouds cradle it near, whispering, reassuring, that sunshine is back, there's a silver lining. Sky sniffles and smiles, knowing all is well. All the grief and sadness had been expelled. Hope holds on close, twinkling and beckoning at the beautiful tomorrow today is becoming. And that's it. It's kind of short.
That was good. Thank you. Good job. So a lot. All right. Next, these are so good so far. I love them. Next, we have Fatima Darbo. Ready?
Assalamualaikum. My name is called, or my poem is called, hold on. Full bloom. Okay. There are some people amongst us who smile like the whole world is resting in their palms, who laugh like they've dreamed of paradise, who even when they're caught out in the rain are singing. What glorious people they are, these people who wear their hearts on their sleeves, who leave them out in the elements because that is the only way they know how to feel, who because of this feel pain just as deeply as happiness, sorrow just as deeply as miracles, who could take the whole world for friend, yet are as lonely as they were the last person on earth, who let people, who let people step on them because they can take the pain, but if they'd let their own selves shine, they'd blind us all. And perhaps they know, but perhaps not, how much of a miracle they are to this earth, to you and me, our silver lines, the silver threads that sew us up and keep us together. We search for this person outside of ourselves, but believe it or not, we all have this person within us, locked as deeply away as possible. We want nothing to do with them because we are afraid. Wearing your heart on your sleeve is no easy thing to do. But what if we let them out? What if we lived with our hearts and not just our heads? What if we cried as deeply as we felt fear, sighed as deeply as we felt fatigued, smiled as deeply as our happiness warranted, and whenever we failed, tried and tried again? Then could we shine as brilliantly as silver? Could we live like dazzling gold? Hurt less and forgive more? Regret less and fulfill more? Could we be that sun that lights someone else's gray? That guide that steadies someone on their way? That love that is someone's saving grace? What happens when we take care of ourselves first? Let our own hearts fill up to their fullest capacity, breathe into the deepest corners of our lungs. What limits can we then conceive of ourselves? What can we possibly not be capable of doing? Hear me. You are your own silver lining, the best miracle you carry with you in this world, the most valuable treasure you could sow and put your heart into growing. So don't let the world snatch your soul. Don't live like someone who's already died, while you are in fact wholly alive. Be silver and gold, be whole and live full. Yeah, that's all.
MashaAllah. Thank you, Fatima. Okay, so now we will have our next one. Brother Pamadou Jane, if you're ready to go, please feel free.
Okay. The name of this poem is called Foundations. We all have our foundations laid into separate spaces, and we've been tracing every bit of it to find our true selves. Like, who are you? And if the answer isn't I am true, then know that your search isn't over until you find you. Know that foundations were laid with picks and spades and tears like rain, cemented with blood and sweat. And you must look at your ancestors like I'm your future, you're next. There is no separation between your past and my present. like those paces you were taking and the patience you were waiting and every bit of yourself you were pouring was so I could discover that I am true and I'm standing on my foundations. That's it.
Okay, mashallah. Okay, so now, Brother Tariq, you're going to do your next two, and then we'll have just two for the middle part, and we'll have a couple announcements, and then we'll have a couple more people go as well.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. All right, thank y'all so much for sharing. Alhamdulillah. Have they forgotten about the elephant? How 1 year was shaped in known covenants. How one child was shaped the whole firmament. 570 CE, the high heavens receiving word the birds landed. How a herd of birds handed the army of Abraha, death by the dozens for the slurs that he commanded. Fast forward, 4 billion or more firm feet planted, 5 times a day, 7 days a week, 0 ways to keep the messenger's message from coursing through the streets. Of course, because I Nabi arrived on a night when the everlasting torches of Persia went silent. Thank Allah for Abdullah and Amina for their meeting. Who could have conceived what they were possibly conceiving? Who could have perceived the improbable perceivings? We say praise for the day his prophetic iris opened, and the Supreme Lord chose him, like the Supreme Lord chose when Sayyidina Musa was on the Nile floating. Musa was born from the pharaohs, while Ahmed was born to the chiefs. And according to beliefs, the child would split Mecca right down to the teeth. May Allah raise a station of she, who nursed Habibina until his heart was washed clean. In her arms was the gathering of galaxies. In his palms, the removal of fallacies. Since when has the birth of an infant saw the more glorious page in history indent? And I may never let my pen lift. If we can ascribe all his praises, it would leave the world penniless. Or what a time to be alive in the elephant's year, as the earth became illumined and the path written clear. See what's happening here begins a chasm and tear between the old and new order of casting they feared that he would smash their careers. And as he's pulled from the womb, so swings the pendulum. Now La ilaha illallah is the equilibrium. Single definition of haq need no synonyms. But then again, Amina birthed to balance the scales so we could find the middle path now and travel it well. A single seed of haq is thrown upon the earth. The one whose names across Allah's throne will be birthed, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And if he was walking the earth today, he would tell them that the judgment is real, but Allah's rahmah is true, that the qadr's been sealed, but our soul can renew, that when the sky starts to peel, you'll only worry about you. Never forget why he came and what he was made to teach, and how many hearts he's changed by the simple words he speak, that we follow his way to the very way we sleep, that we follow his way to the very way we eat, that we follow his way to the very way we breathe. Believe, and let the day our beloved arrive to our side be a reminder of the covenant with Allah the Most High. If they ask you how, if they ask you why, if they ask you when, tell them the throne alone is where the story begins. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I got caught browsing through the browsers in my browser. Now I thought out of the thousands of prison houses that are crowded, how many of those shackled by hands and feet are just like Khalif, just like Corey Wise, and got caught up in the streets. Even if they were caught up in the streets, there's a stage full of ray fools caught in this bind, wrong signal, wrong signs, wrong country, wrong time. And no doubt, depending on the DA, the punishment for the crime is bound to be cruel and unusual. Ain't no slaps on the wrist, they'll hand you a whole funeral. They were throwing 20 and a nickel for pumping some nickels like my folks on boats and planes. I guess this country is fickle. 15 for a Glock when we can all buy stock in the same companies that's hustling missiles. So if we're gonna cut through the BS, let's cut through the tissue. Believe it or not, every day is a Dred Scott. The birth to prison highway ain't never been gridlocked. Every hour there's a Browder. Every minute there's an Emmett. The system is deep, but my people was deep in it. We always knew which way the law shifts. They still leasing out convicts. Every city's a car lot. Every hood is an auction. They lease a youngin' like they lease Nissans. $80,000 a prison bed. They can't see the weapons. And that's just the stipend subsidized by the state. Every bar of soap, every tube of toothpaste, all line their pockets down to the chow on metal trays. Crime pays. Blind pays. Your hands can't free what your eyes can't see. They hide the horror and the laws behind some applause. For your jaw can touch the floor. Another shackle ankle stampede. You right, Uncle Sam need him. Cause who else gonna do this head bleeding? And they don't even need a square reason. When us breathing is free air is treason. Our skin is probable cause and effect. You get caught with this tone, you two might be calling to collect. Margin for error is a shoestring, don't fall out of step. Don't blink for a second, they'll send you up north in a sec. And I can't name a jail cell that ever had buyer's remorse. I could feel the 7 seas with the tears of black mothers crying in court. Mama mortgaged the house for the bail. They charge it with 7 counts for a sale. When we're touching down at the docks daily amounts to a well. It all amounts to a well. With the path he was heading, we had to head him to hell. Or the drug war's the prerogative. Zero tolerance. Cuff him by any means or use a hollow tip. See what the problem is the chances are so slim of coming out of it. Your whole life is hanging upon a scholarship. Or there's something large at stake. Maybe the larger the prison population, the larger the stakes. Because whether it was textbooks in that backpack or it was harboring weight, still had to fall to the fate. The question was always, who else gonna pick this cotton? Who else gonna fill these cots when they needing some more profit? And ain't too many options. We the only option. You could be pitching rocks in, loading a whole Glock clip. You could be walking to work. Let a couple cops spin. See how fast you be locked in. I look at my son and can't help but see the facts between us. That it could easily be a glass between us. So I'm on my knees every night. I never know when my time's up. I guess to be a black man in America is to live every day in a lineup. Alhamdulillah.
Oh, wow. Everyone's clapping behind their screens. Okay, we'll have a couple announcements by my dad for the show, and then we will get to the next 3 contestants.
Thank you. Thank our brother Tariq Toure. Again, we want to thank everybody for coming out to the first annual Poetry Slam. As we say, hopefully not virtual, first annual virtual Poetry Slam. God willing, we'll be through with this. After this year, we'll be able to be with each other and, hug each other, look at each other, shake hands, slap backs after this year. Just want to make a couple quick announcements. Again, the Poetry Slam is brought by Amin, which is, again, the American Muslim Intercultural Network. And it's an organization. We're here in Memphis, Tennessee. Our first function is caring for people who are interested in Islam, people who convert, or people who are trying to reconnect to the divine. We've been creating connections through social activities and dialoguing over books, articles, things that affect our lives that we may feel deeply about and want to share with other people of like-mindedness. Community engagement through community service, community outreach. And lastly, as we're doing now, creating cultural expression, like positive cultural expression, morally safe cultural expression. Through poetry slams, through art festivals, film screenings, and discussions. And one of the things we know lately, there's been a lot of discussion about where poetry is going via rap music, where it is, how many of us who grew up in the 90s, we miss Eric B., Rakim, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, that positive, intellectual rap. Now we don't really believe in cursing the darkness. yeah, we recognize that there's some darkness out there in the artistic realm, but we believe in shining the light via, you know, good artists and positive energy. So that's one of the functions of the organization, is to bring about positive cultural expressions and healthy cultural expressions. So second, before we get to the, you know, the second half of the poets who will be presenting for us, we would like to, you know, tell everyone about some events we have coming up. So on September 23rd, we'll have Dr. Sherman Jackson, who will have a conversation. Dr. Jackson, as the flyer, she's putting the flyer up here. Conversation is claiming our stories. Dr. Jackson is the King Faisal Chair of USC. He's the author of Islam and the Black American, Islam and the Problem of Black Suffering. He's the author of numerous articles. He also teaches African American studies. And he's our, between him and Imam Zaid, he's like our spiritual teachers, our spiritual guide. He's one of them, and we're looking forward to having him September 23rd. And, you know, if everyone, we would like to have everybody come back out, come join us for the conversation. It's not all the time we have access to certain people of his caliber. So that's September 23rd. Following that, coming October, we'll have some more events coming up. You know, please look out. You know, make sure you go to the Facebook page. I mean, we can get on, check our website, I mean USA, to see what events will be coming up. We would love for you to get on the email list so we can stay connected to people. And there, you also have the opportunity that if you have any questions, you can leave at the website and we'll respond as quick as we can. So we'll move on to our second set of poets. So I'll hand it over to Sabria so you can introduce the second set of poets.
Okay. All right, Bismillah. So we will have our next few performers. So first up, we have Brother Mazen Khalil. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and turn on your mic and your camera.
Hey, assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Amazing job done by everybody so far. Here we go. Bismillah. Silver linings are opportunities that are divine. Optimism defined, repenting, venting to the Lord of all creation, who lets you not only see your mistakes, but how to make yourself greater, gain his favor and his grace, allowing you to savor. Sweetie man, as part of his plan, silver linings are second chances that we did not know we need. You see, in order to see silver linings, we need divine decree, a decree so great that it allows us to see silver lining when the times are bleak, when the skies are gray and light slowly fades away, darkness encompassing, eclipse forthcoming. Silver linings are the sliver of the sun that keeps us running. Alhamdulillah.
Short and sweet. That was good. Okay. Next up, we'll have Brother Hadith Morgan. Whenever you're ready, you can turn on your mic and your camera.
السلام عليكم يا بسم الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Lost at sea, I marvel at the creator of these waves and wonder if he loves me. Seldom does one wish to be lost, and still many of us lay adrift. We lay ourselves at the mercy of the wind of our whims and so fall victim to the misdirection of the breeze on this sea. My compass is spinning, which means to say there are moments of true direction, certainty in belief, but confusion and self-doubt overwhelm, so these moments of clarity are brief. I ask for guidance every day. And still, these waves beat on my ship, incessant, each dissipating only to leave behind a vessel perturbed, each leaving behind a regretted mark on my soul. I did not ask for these waves. And still, I am with ship, I am with compass, I am with sails, and I am at sea. I am still afloat. There has not been a moment when God did not love me.
All right, mashallah, thank you. And our final performer from the people who are here is Sister Michaela. Whenever you're ready, feel free to turn on your mic and your camera. Okay, we can see you. I can't hear you. I don't know if anybody else can. I don't think so. Okay, yeah, try to say something. No. Okay, wait. Do you want to try to leave and then come back in? Yeah, try that. I think we have another performer also, but try to leave and come back in. This is the problem with the Zoom era. It's just awkward silence. How's everybody doing? Good. I'm really enjoying these poems, actually. It's been a while. Yeah, we have actually extra performer as well. Brother Malcolm is here too. But Sister Michaela, do you want to try your audio? She just entered back. Okay.
You told me to try my audio, or you talking?
Your audio is working. Okay. You can go ahead if you're ready, and then we'll let Sister Michaela get her audio connected, and then she'll go after you.
Give me a couple minutes, just real quick.
Okay, no problem. Anybody else got ready?
I messed up because I'm in California, so I had a 5:15 Pacific time. Then it be like, oh man, I'm tripping.
You would have been here by yourself.
I was on my lonely.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been singing the Akon song.
Okay, so she's still connecting her audio. If anybody else has something they want to drop anytime soon, we can. I'm just trying to make sure everybody's getting ready. Okay, Sister Michaela, your thing connected. Do you want to try to unmute yourself and see if it'll work?
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, now we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. I have to call in on my phone. I'm so sorry.
Feel free whenever you're ready. No problem.
Okay. I just want to say, I hope you all are in the best of Iman and health, inshallah. The words you all shared were very, very beautiful. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't know about the theme. I was like, what should I share that I've written or that I can write? So I have something to share. I don't know if it matches in beauty to what everyone else has shared, but here I go. And this is titled Living with Racism. My house is made of cards and glass, a frame of sticks and straw, a base of mud, a roof of tin. I am confined to these four corners, defined by the paint peeling from the walls, the veil of glass shards under my feet pricking me like little needles. Pungent and fetid, it is radiating from the carpet, heat-seeking and desperate to invade my senses. Lead chipping from the ceiling might cave in. The roof may realize it can no longer shield me. It can no longer hold my burdens. The thin walls might falter, might waver against the loud noise. The forte of shouting and yelling, it's all subject to collapse. The windows cracked like veins, shattered church mosaics that open to the little light that never shines. I cannot breathe in these cramped quarters, in the dark of my basement, in the cell of a prison, in the bowels of a slave ship. I'm suffocated from every angle until I can't breathe, until I'm no longer happy nor welcome in my own home. I'm on the cusp of eviction in a situation that for once cannot be solved through diction. These walls talk for me as I struggle around the lyrics of my Harlem fiction. I cannot step outside the front door. Though I try so hard, I am always trapped. I'm convinced I can't make it outside these walls, the same walls that crowd and constrict. The price of living has become unreasonable. My indentured wages cannot pay these bills. I'm desperate in cutting deals. These walls will tumble any second. My pride has long since crumbled. I stay, squalling in the filth and debris because I fear I do not deserve anything greater. I stay, choking around my pride because I feel I am not equal. I stay, decaying in poverty because I've always settled for less until I open the door.
That's good, mashallah. Thank you. Okay, so last but not least, our brother from California who is here on Cali time, but it's okay. If he's ready, Brother Malcolm, whenever you're ready to open your mic and your camera, please go ahead.
Just give me a few seconds real quick. Okay. My internet is acting a little funny right now. I'm just making sure everything is good to go. Okay. Okay. Almost ready. Let me just, sorry about that.
No problem, unless the judges have time to think.
Okay. Yeah, because I know the judges probably heard a lot today. So my computer, I'm just getting it all set up, and I got this slow internet. This coronavirus internet.
Listen, I don't know what y'all have in California, but Memphis feels that. That's all I have to say.
Man, it's rough. Okay. All right, inshallah, we're gonna get started here. Okay. This poem is called White Supremacy. Okay. All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. I need a black ride, black tie, nothing flies, black fly, higher than the black sky, haters getting black eyes. Listen as the black flows, growing you like black moles, making all these boo-boo rappers disappear like black holes. I'm the great black hype, even on a black night. I be glowing like your teeth underneath a black light. Never had a black card, but I'm still a black star. Oh, I spent so many nights locked up behind them black bars. I'm the black sheep, black gat in my backpack, ghetto black belt, black, hit you like it's black Jack, black Mac, black prison tats, black veteran. Black roses was my medicine. Black brim, black feather, vicious as a black leopard. Demons all around me, but I'm shaking them like black pepper. Black hoodie sweater, black Dickies, black mask, black Terminator, telling my enemies I'll be black. I used to be on some black stuff. Then I realized there's more to life than just black and white. There's all sorts of shades of red, yellow, brown, and gray. And regardless of what a white supremacist may say, here's a sign. Every black cloud has a silver line. And just like in life, there's all different types of colors and shades of red, yellow, brown, and gray. And regardless of what a white supremacist may say, white superiority is just a delusion in some people's heads. Is the black ant any more superior than the red? Is the snow leopard any more superior than the Black Panther? Is cancer of the lungs more superior than skin cancer? It's all innovation. It all has no basis. How can you be racist when simple mutations, along with migrations, a few adaptations have altered our faces? Your blood has my traces, face it. Regardless of how pale your skin should be, or how blonde your hair should be, or how blue your eyes should be, your great grandmother still look like Whoopi. Gold burglars invaded, the motherland and raided. Their descendants returned years later, dug up the bones and admitted we're all related. And this is the truth. There's no such thing as your truth or my truth. And one's ethnic makeup is in no way, shape, or form related to their IQ. A lack of pigmentation is not an indication of education, just like darker pigmentation is not a justification for colonization. The modern day classification of races was created after the rebellion of Nathaniel Bacon. And since we're talking about races, Let me tell you something that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated. The white man is not superior to the black. Neither is the black man superior to the white. The only thing that makes one person better is the one who fears Allah, those who strive to do what's right. So enough with the silly debate over which race is the best. Prepare yourself for the one thing every ethnic group must face, that is death.
Wow. Wow, mashallah. Okay, so I'm glad I'm not a judge because I don't get to decide, but we'll be putting that was really good. Those are all really good. We'll be putting these judges in breakout rooms and we'll have a few announcements. And I think that there are some people who want to perform just for fun. So I'll be putting the judges in breakout room. Just give me a quick second.
All right. Again, want to thank everybody for coming out. Good to see our brother Malcolm from the West Coast.
Alaikum.
How you doing, man?
Alhamdulillah. It's all good.
Alhamdulillah. It's good to see you, man. We good, man. We good. It's definitely good to see you, man.
Likewise. Alhamdulillah.
Right. So, as I stated at the beginning, to someone who's not a poet, I really appreciate poets. They say they put words into our feelings. They put words to our feelings. So we're gonna go ahead, the judges are gonna go ahead and start adding up and tallying up the scores. While they do that, wanted to talk about what the prizes for the winners of the Poetry Slam. So the first place prize is $100 and a book, our brother Tariq Toure's book. This is one of the books, it's two books. This one is called 2 Parts Oxygen, as well as some merchandise for Amin that we have. It's a statement. I know it's very difficult to see. It's a statement by Imam Ghazali. It says, knowledge without action. Oh, wait a minute. Knowledge without action is wastefulness, and action without knowledge is foolishness. So again, it's knowledge without action. So to know something but to not do anything is wasteful. And okay, we got you. Yeah. and action without knowledge is foolishness. So to know something and not do something, you're wasting that knowledge. And to act without knowing, it's foolish. And what we see right now often is people talking, they don't know what they're talking about, and they're harming people. And you have people who want to do something, and they don't know what they're doing. And so we're all being harmed. So we want to, the statement kind of puts together what the organization wants to do. We want to use knowledge and then turn that into action that brings benefit to people. Those who are, seeking Islam, and those who are living in the world, who are our brothers in humanity as well. And we also want to put our actions, because if you're not doing anything, to say we have all these creeds, one of the things Dr. King said, you can have a high blood pressure of creeds and an anemia of deeds. So we can know a lot, but we can be very anemic in what we do. We don't want to be that. And organizationally, we want to put people who want to do good in a position to do that. And we want to do that together collectively. So that's the point of organization. We want to do things like this. We want to get together. We want to raise our consciousness through words. We're good. All this good company on the screen. Hopefully in the coming months, or at least next year, we can all be good company in the same place and create a beloved community of people. So I understand we have a few people who want to get on the mic who didn't sign up. So Sabria, you're gonna go ahead. We had some people who didn't show up, so it's good. It kind of matches, we can match up each other's needs right now. We need to fill some time, and you need to get your voice out here.
Yeah, no. So Brother Mazin, he did sign up, but he just wants to perform a piece just for fun, not for the show. So also, if anybody else wants to as well, while we wait for the judges, feel free to come on the mic, but you could just DM me. But Brother Mazin, if you want to go ahead and go.
Hey, salam alaikum again, everybody. I just want to thank Amin real quickly for putting on this poetry slam. Alhamdulillah, and mashallah, I love hearing poets and just poetry in general. I love being inspired. So jazakumullah kulli khair, and mashallah, I'm inspired by the talent that everybody has. Bismillah. Okay, so this is called My Soul. My soul, why do you not submit? Why do you not fall down in prostration to your creator when you've been chosen to be amongst the best of nations? Why does the adornment of the dunya and its sick variation permeate through you with vigorous oscillation? Why do you not strive for the akhirah with fixation, but instead make proclamations with no motivation? Why do you speak about the akhirah with exhalations, but your love of this dunya makes you move with hesitation, slowly, with reservations, as if you'll be here forever? My soul, do you not understand that your return to your Lord is inevitable like the previous nations? It is not just the speech of our forefathers when we will be called to account, where a day is 50,000 years and the sunbeams are on your head. No, it is not exaggeration. A day where we'll have to stand and there will be no declarations unless he wills it. None shall speak, and on that day his and only his will be the declamation, the King of Kings, who's closer to you than the blood running through your veins in circulation, closer to you than your jugular. Oh my soul, why is it that you allow this dunya to incite you into indignations? Why is it that you have allowed yourself to be perforated by this dunya's provocation, fallen ill to its temptations? It's a lure without resignation when you know that to Allah is your final destination. Oh my soul, today I bear witness against you and your violations, because I cannot lie and nothing escapes his observation. So prostrate my soul before on you is made prostration, because you know that to Allah is your final destination. Alhamdulillah.
Get it, mashallah. Can we unmute? Is that okay? I did it. Too late now.
The president is Mazen, right? If you could come out. What state do you live in?
I live in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
Brooklyn, let's go. Sorry, I'm sorry. Let me control myself.
Man, glad to have you, man.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khair again.
Okay, Fatima also wants to go again. So she'll perform a poem just for fun too.
Okay, I just want to write one. This one's called like, where do the dues go? So, bismillah. Where do the dues go? I rifle through my heart searching for an answer. I find a lot of dreams, desires, wants, wishes, hopes, prayers, regrets. Not many dues. Are they scarce? Must I ingest dues like vitamins to have enough? Or maybe I'm searching in the wrong place. It strikes me that dues exist elsewhere as verbs, as things being done in my limbs and actions, not as abstractions, not as fractions of whole intents and purposes, not as perhapses and or maybes, possibilities endless in their uncertainty. No. Dues are facts. They exist as facts, and facts are dones. So if I want more dues, I must have a well done will, burnt around the edges, tested and tried and ready to come out and be relished. And by relished, I mean done. You see, nothing in this world just happens. Everything is purposely brought forth. We complain all day about unhappiness, all our compunctions compounding at the door, locking us in our minds as we lay limp, nursing our inertia, entranced by dreams that by now are hallucinations, impossibilities because we've let them be. Why don't we be what we want to be? Why don't we do instead of muse? What are we afraid of? Is it Newton's third law? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if we maintain inertia, less will mess up, less will change. But if we live with a capital L and do with a capital D, more can go wrong. That's where our fear lies. But you see, that's exactly where we're wrong, because just because you stay out of the way doesn't mean trouble can't come find you. As long as we're alive, we don't know what direction our life will take. Best believe it is better to act before you are acted upon. Might as well take control of your life and do. And that poem is to myself first before everybody else. So alhamdulillah.
Drop the Jummah khutbah. Myself first. Good job. All right, mashallah. Okay, Al-Hussein also gonna do one. We're just gonna let people go whenever they want to go until the judges are ready. So go for it, Hadidi.
No, you're gonna have to wait a second for me to pull this up real quick.
Why you do that? I want to tell.
I'm sorry, Mr. Shaw.
Well, no, it's okay. Fatima, I really, as you go, I'm reminded of something Anne Frank said, that paper has more patience than people. So I would like to congratulate you and get, because I can hear the nervousness when you first start, and then the strength comes out as you go on. So I want to commend you in that, because I know as someone who I don't write poetry, but as I write, the paper is a lot more patient than the faces that you're looking at on the screen. The paper is just saying, give me more. And the people are looking like, so it's a lot easier. So I want to commend you on to having that courage to go out there, because I can hear your nervousness, but that courage to despite, that nervousness and that fear, hats off, koofies off, Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm shaky, to be honest. Alhamdulillah.
Hussein,
Ready?
you ready?
All right,
And then
man. I got you. Inshallah. So this one is called An Awakening. Bismillah. Society knocked on my door the other day. I kept it closed. It barged through anyway. It walked towards me. It seemed so strange, and with a monotonous voice it said, "You need to change." Why, I asked, what did I do wrong? What is it that makes you think I don't belong? Society looked at me with disgust in its face, like I was a disgrace to the human race, and said, "You're a man." I was so afraid that society was going to hurt me. I ran away. I thought about what it said, and I felt so gray. I fled through the corridors, opened up the back door, thinking finally I've escaped. But no, I was greeted by a large figure. It was a person wearing a shirt with a label that said "The Man." He was big, buff, and built, sideburns, full beard, and with a deep, loud, booming voice, he said, "Come here." I looked back at society walking towards me. I looked forward at the man walking towards me and realized I was stuck in between with nowhere to go. Society stuck its hands out towards me and said, "Come on and join me. I'll show you how you need to be." The man stuck his hands out towards me and said, "Come on and join me. I'll show you how you need to be." I let my arms go limp, and I fell down to my knees. Society grabbed my right arm and started pulling. The man grabbed my left arm and started pulling. It was like they were playing tug of war, and my heart was the string in between. My heart is gonna decide victory goes to which team, and I felt such pain. It was like I was about to die. If I graphed my life at that point, it would have been like X equals negative Y. They took my body, so I let my mind go, and I let my thoughts flow. What would it mean for me to join society? How would that change my identity? Someone please explain this to me, because honestly, it's so confusing. If I see a woman walking to a store, am I a misogynist if I hold open the door? If I hold open the front door, or am I just being kind? Or if I take her out and pay for her dinner, am I saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be the breadwinner," or am I just being nice? Or if she drops a pile of books and I offer a helping hand, am I calling her weak and trying to take command, or am I just being a decent human? Because in this day and age, agreeing with society means ripping away my masculinity. I'd have to stop wrestling with my brother, can't do anything that makes me tougher, because the world we live in is extreme, it's not mild. And if I wanted to fit into society, I'd have to let my actions be told to me by a commercial from a shaving company, and I decided I don't want that. So I looked towards the other side and I thought, what about the man? Well, the man would never act nicely. 4 wives don't treat any of them kindly. He'll never watch his tongue. He'll never have to watch his language. Just tell his wife, go make him a sandwich. He'd treat everyone with hostility, would pretend he doesn't have any responsibility. And to join the man, I'd have to know every single fact about every single sport. I'd have to own every other person on the court. I'd have to go to the gym 5 days a week to build up that manly physique. I'd have to memorize everything about soccer, and I'd have to be either an engineer or a doctor. And I decided, I don't want that. So I thought, who should I follow? The one who'll strip away my identity or the one who'll make my heart hollow? Where is the middle ground? And then I remembered the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best of mankind, the one who was kind, the one who was merciful, the one who was caring, the one who was humble, the one who was above all, still a man. So tell me, why do I have to change? Why do I have to transform myself to have other people accept me? I used to constantly agree, and it turns out always conceding is humiliation, not humility. It came to me like a gift from the heavens. They kept tugging at me, and I realized I had two weapons. In my right hand, I had my faith. In my left hand, my humanity. And I beat up both the men and society. I walked away, not afraid, but confident, because I knew how to live my life. And I was so driven. Gillette can release 100 commercials doesn't mean I'm gonna listen. I am a man. And I'll wrestle with my kids, teach them to be strong and tough, but I'll also teach them to fill their hearts with iman and love. Like it or not, I am a man, and I thank Allah for making me who I am. Alhamdulillah.
Woo. A word about that one. Hadidi won Miss Nashville with that piece last year. Like the whole crowd went crazy when he performed that. So I was excited that he did that. And then Brother Hadith wants to go again. We're just waiting for the judges, so feel free.
MashaAllah, I love these films, and I just love this space. This is so dope. I also had a confusion with the whole time zone thing, so I was late, and so I missed some of your awesome performances, so forgive me for that. But the ones that I did see, just MashaAllah, may Allah increase us all and allow this to be a source of benefit. So just to fill the space, I'll share another poem, inshallah. Bismillah. Trust is a must because we do not know the future, unfathomable, it is always so. Life never goes quite the way we want it, but we never had control. There's a divine plan at play, I just need to get with the flow. For so long, I've been swimming against this current, trying to make my own waves, thinking myself to be independent, but I ain't never been alone, not for a single day. How can I possibly be when the Lord Most High is closer to me than my jugular vein? To even believe I could even just breathe without him, I must be deranged, because a heart at rest and a soul in submission are one and the same. It is not the knot tied tight that keeps the camel from wandering into the desert, destined for a grave of dry sand, but the knot tied just right and trust in God's might that keeps the camel where it stands. By that, I mean to say, that the knot may come undone, your camel gone astray, having long gone from any well-worn path. But if God wills, that camel will come back to you if only you knew, because what God wills comes to pass. Trust is not easy. The answer to your prayer can reach you before you've even found the words to make it, but know that trust is often in the company of patience. So I raise my hands to complain to God of my problems. And though it may take time, I'm certain that the solution is on its way.
MashaAllah. Okay, so we're gonna make a few announcements, but if anybody else wants to go ahead and let me know. I think the judges are still deciding from what it looks like. Yeah, they need more time. Okay, so we'll make a few announcements. If anyone else wants to go ahead, people who weren't even registered to perform.
Okay, so again, thank you for those who are going. Again, just blessing us with good poetry. Just wanted to talk about the prizes for the winners. So first place, I started earlier. So first place it's $100, and we're giving Brother Tariq Toure's book. This one is 2 parts oxygen. The other one is black seed, and sending shirt. Well, shirt. Second place is $75, the 2 books and the shirt as well. And the third place is $50, the shirt and the 2 books. Please go, again, check out our website, ImeanUSA.org. We're always open to taking donations, needing donations as a nonprofit organization. If you find that you enjoy the program, and so we want to do more of these. We would like to do more of them, in person. But for now, we might as well do this all together. This is a good way we can be with our brother in New York. We can be with our good brother Malcolm in California. It's the beauty of technology and the blessing of technology. So the judges are now back, so I will go ahead and hand it over to them. Thank you all again for coming.
Oh, my bad. They're not ready. So I'm gonna send them back. Sorry, guys. It's a tough competition. I'll send y'all back, sorry.
Okay, so sorry for jumping the gun. I thought they were ready. I wanted to just talk about, so we're located in Memphis, Tennessee, along with it's Amin, and we have, Midtown Mosque is here as well. So if anyone is interested in moving, if you're looking for a place to live, I know you all have nice places. I know my brother Tariq is in Detroit, so I know he's good. He's firmly rooted in Detroit. But anyone else, if you're looking for, a community to be with, people, who try to follow the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and, looking out for each other and caring for each other. And also, not trying just growing in faith, but, growing intellectually, growing spiritually, growing emotionally. Look us up. Memphis is a cool place to be. We're here. Sabria's here. Sister Fatima, the courageous poet, is here as well. So, inshallah, it's a home of the blues, the music blues, not the blues, though. It's a really, really special city to be in. Martin Luther King was assassinated here. And you feel like the presence of the activism because of that. I mean, he died. This is a man who has a doctorate, died for people who are sanitation workers. And here, as a religious community, that if you're not following in that legacy, then you're not doing anything in the city. If you're not feeding people or trying to make the city a better place, then religiously you don't count. It's one of the most altruistic, one of the most philanthropic cities in the country, but it's also one of the most poor cities. It's one of the poorest cities in the country. So it's a very interesting dichotomy here. So just wanted to say that if anybody's looking for a place, our brother Hadif, I don't know where you're residing now. I know our brother Mazen is in Brooklyn. Don't worry about it. People are leaving New York in droves. so we're having a reverse migration as well. But if anyone else would like to go ahead, just wanted to get that out. Please check out our website. If you're still so inclined to donate, please donate. But just check the website out. Check out some of our future events. If Malcolm, you look like you wanna go ahead and drop something.
I'll drop something else, man. Inshallah. Let me see. All right, here we go. I got something for you guys. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Now, what you think? I'm supposed to honor all the people you call saints? All those pale images that Michelangelo paints? I'm that bird singing out of Maya Angelou's cage? The things I think will make many men scream, and I believe in things that are unseen, like angels and jinn in the shayateen. A'udhu billah, Lord protect us, Ameen. But I only fear Allah, I'm not afraid of them. Bamboozling people ain't the way to win. Bowing in salat is how my day begins. And sorry, I don't trust a man who prays to men, and I don't trust a man who doesn't have a watch. Feeling like I'm Malcolm X after Hajj. Freedom fighting, breaking idols, that is my job. And telling everybody there is only one God. That's the movement, and it's moving. Nobody can stop it. The greatest revolutionary ever was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Away from false philosophies to the truth he was calling. But the pagans of today are worse than pagans from antiquity, because they don't even believe in a higher entity. And in the name of money, they will murder anything. And got the nerve to ask me why I look so menacing. A pity scene. They're sentencing young city kings for littering. They're entering adulthood with illiteracy. Literally, bitterly, I push forth, trying hard to stand, understand in this land. I'm only 3/5 of a man. Parole and these strikes got me scared to raise my hand. If America wants the solution, then it needs Islam. From Iran to Japan, all the signs have began. You can fight the government, but can't fight the divine plan. Man, see, hell is hot, and you're gonna need a lot more than that little church fan. All the true believers locked in the can, make dua for your brothers, because this dunya got its way out of hand. Sometimes I wonder if I stayed in the pen, if it would have been better for my soul in the end, knowing I'm gonna have to answer for a boatload of sins. Save yourself from a fire whose fuel is stones and men.
Woo, mashallah. We have, oh wait, Brother Muhammad Bey's here and Uncle Mustafa. Sorry, some of our community uncles are here and they're like very excited. So I think you got their approval. If the OGs approved that, you know that you got it. So like
again, thank you, Brother Malcolm. If anyone else has something they'd like to share, hopefully the judges will be back soon. We know really appreciate the level of competition and and the level of poetry mastery that you all displayed. As someone again who doesn't write poetry, I admire poets a lot. I was an aspiring poet at one point in time. Didn't get past one stanza though. So if anyone else has something, it's strange. I actually teach poetry, but I don't write it.
I got a question. You talked about Memphis. What are the houses going for out there?
Depends on where you are, man. You can get you want to be in the burbs, you're looking at like 250, and the city's going up. But where we are, so we're part of a neighborhood revitalization project. So over here, you got houses you can get like 150, or you can get 30 or 20. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things we've realized is that you can't really build a community off of renting. That you have to buy, but you can't have a community where it's so expensive that people can't buy. So one of the things, the good things about Memphis is it's kind of a disparity in housing. It can be like 2 streets over, like $5,000. 2 streets over, you got $250,000. So yeah, it varies. But check us out, man. Check out, we tell you to at least buy some land, because we need to own land. I mean, America is becoming much like Europe, where poverty will be in the suburbs and wealth will be in the cities. And that's how we push for like this gentrification thing. So, it's good here though, man. It's good. We got good people here, blessed to have, like she said, we got the uncles here, we have wisdom here who are artists as well. So it's good, man. You should come visit us.
Inshallah, man. I got to make my way down that way.
Yeah. How's California? How's San Diego, man?
I mean, San Diego is a beautiful city. It's a beautiful city. I mean, I happen to live in one of the spots that's probably one of the more undesirable areas of San Diego. But I appreciate. I can appreciate the hood though. But I mean, it's expensive though. I mean, you paying $1,600, $1,500 for a 1-bedroom in the ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
That's an apartment.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So the judges are back? All right.
Yeah, we're handing it over to you, judges. Whoever wants to go ahead and tell us your final decision.
All right, who's gonna?
Whichever one of the judges. So either Brother Tariq, Sister Lauren, Sister Denise, Sabra.
The judges are shy.
Okay, I'll do it. I don't want to speak for the sisters. Get myself beat up outside my door. I always talk it over the sisters. Alhamdulillah. So, thank you. First of all, thank you all for just participating, and may Allah continue to renew our tradition and our culture through poetry, inshallah, and just culture of poets. Our third place, we'll go 3, 2, 1, inshallah. So, our third place contestant and poet, griot, all things in the above, is Brother Al Hussein Hadidi. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, inshallah. It's the third place winner. So give a round of applause for Brother Al Hussein, inshallah. Is he still on? I hope he's still on. Inshallah. Thank you so much, Brother Al Hussein.
Your mic.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Thank you so much. Jazakumullahu khair.
Appreciate it, inshallah. The only advice I have for writers is to keep writing. I'm sorry, nothing intricate. just keep writing, you know, that's how the equation gets done, inshallah. All right. For our second place, alhamdulillah, our second poet, our second griot, second contestant, thank you so much for sharing. That is Brother Mazen Khalil. So alhamdulillah, thank you so much, Brother Mazen, for participating, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, jazakumullah.
I can't see him. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. All right. So, last but not least, alhamdulillah, the poet poeted. And alhamdulillah, at this point in time, on this day, it was September 13th, 2020, for the Amin Memphis annual slam. The person who will be walking away with the trophy and the pride, and not bragging rights, but you know, the pride, alhamdulillah, proper pride, not Riyah, is none other than Brother Harith Morgan. So alhamdulillah, thank you so much for coming and delivering and serving us up some very impactful expression today. Can you hear? Is he still here?
I can hear you. Thank you.
Oh,
so
alhamdulillah.
Really appreciate it. My mic was muted. May Allah accept this from us all.
Ameen. Ameen. Inshallah. Everybody, let's write as much as possible, as much as humanly possible, inshallah. And I'll give it back to Sabria, inshallah.
Okay, yeah, my dad wants to make an announcement. Go ahead.
Okay, go.
So now, jazakallah khairan to the judges, you know, really appreciate it. We'd like to thank all of the contestants, and if you competed, please stay on. Like when we end, we wanted to, you know, speak to all the contestants. So please stay on if you have a moment when we get off, inshallah. Go ahead, Sabria, you have.
Yes, I think Brother Tariq, did you want to do one more to end us out? Thank you.
If that's okay with everybody, let's go, inshallah. Ya muqallib al-qulub, thabit qalbi ala deenik. I beg the turner of hearts to rotate this writer's organ, and I've seen it. It was scenic. I was nearing the edge of my own soiled soul, and he cleaned it and redeemed it. And I mean it. What I'm meaning is a dark lump of flesh that sits in between it, same as the opioid fiend when she's fiending, for the very things that would devastate and demean it, same as the alcoholic's leverage when he's leaning. I was far off my rocker, decimated and defeated. I gave my vices vicegerency, filling venomous voids. And on the surface soul of my soul, I could either build or destroy. But I gave in to the noise, crucifying my poise, a crucifixion of joy. If every trial is a lesson, what are you telling me, Lord? Could have regarded the fire made of mankind in stones? Because it seems like every other year I've been embodying both, taking for granted what's inside of my home, as the shaitan ain't got a residence inside of our bones, inside of our blood. I guess I did get it out of the mud. Weren't we created out of the mud, out of the earth, out of the air? And I solemnly swear that when I looked inside, I noticed the little pharaoh was there. I blinked twice, and he made himself the emir. You're your soul oppressors written all in the mirror. The nafs is fickle. One moment it all could be clear. Then the next second, your whole soul could be seared. So I'm saying soul a lot, cause so many souls live in fear. And the coals of our Islam burn even hotter when you're holding them near. After so many tears, you start to notice the puppet strings are thicker than they appear. And as you pull towards the light, they were kicking them into gear. They say we should teach ourselves to forgive. But I just decorate the cage of every new cell that I live. I wonder how seldom it is that Allah sees a servant suffer and then tells him repent, that manufactures the blessing and withheld his descent. No matter what type of hell is within, if there's a rupture in our armor, he can weld it again. For that very reason, there's a well in my pen. Praying was mechanical till life started to tighten its noose. Setback after setback, I politely refused to call upon the one through whom my plight might be excused. How insightful amuse, how rightly obtuse. How could we ever lose the light when the light's seeking you? That's because Allah casts his brightest stars right into the darkness, hands as heavy as hearts right into the heartless, crafts the message, then injects it right within the artist, then restores the ruh and places it right within the carcass. So I return and I return and I return once again, no matter how much it feels as if I turn just to spin. Because now when I return with the pen. And I found some power in the pen. And I think there's some power in the pen. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
Collective snaps. If we could all turn on the mics, mashallah. Okay, so I've been super excited. So thank you all for coming and joining our poetry slam. There's a lot of people on Facebook right now also who are just like super excited. So just want to let you guys know about that too. And if Brother Tariq, if you have any announcements you want to make about any of your work coming up, any projects happening?
Alhamdulillah. October 7th, inshallah, I will be releasing my first children's book, poem. Children's, it's a poem. That happens to be a children's book, illustrated by Sister Anika Sabri. So people will be able to find that at davidsdollar.com. It is a story about a young Muslim kid named David who goes with his father to buy some candy after doing his chores. And then he pays the brother behind the register, and he asks his father after he got his candy and he's let go of his dollar. He asks his father, where does his dollar go? And his father takes him around the neighborhood and shows him where that exchange of dollars has taken his dollar. And I think it is a very, very, alhamdulillah, culturally significant book. And alhamdulillah, I read it to my daughter on Friday for the first time. And she's 6, and so she got it and she enjoyed it. And so maybe she was just, glazing me up because I'm daddy. But alhamdulillah, it's going well. So, you guys can check out that. I'm always, sort of trying to put together just projects and just expressions of art that vibes with the people that I know and love and that I'm in community with. So you can check my stuff out at Tariq Toure. I also run Greater Than a Sword. So this Malcolm hoodie is from the line Greater Than a Sword. I actually will have new stuff up, inshallah, by tomorrow for that. But most of all, anything, I would like you all, if possible, whatever you have, please donate to Amin Memphis. When I was very young, some people really took some efforts to make sure that a kid like me who wanted to run their mouth and just make art and draw and stuff and do all types of stuff was invested in. So I'm a product of a community being like, all right, we're gonna give you some tools so that you can express yourself. So in my madrasa, they would have us like reading like Julius Caesar and like seriously acting out plays and stuff. So now as an adult, I see why. I see why preparing us to be able to convey. And may Allah give us the same Ruhul Qudus that was asked for Haritha. Hassan bin Thabit, poet of Prophet Muhammad. May Allah give us all Ruhul Qudus, inshallah, and give us all inspiration from Ruhul Qudus, inshallah, so that we can continue to serve the community in our artistic ways. And I'm long-winded, so I'll stop now. Just thank everybody who participated. And the last thing that I will say is that I did not grow up in slam. My introduction to poetry was somebody who just loved language. And so this is a tool to make us better so that we can properly convey. That's it. We just happen to put a contest with. So that's the ultimate goal in pleasing Allah. So thank y'all so much for having me and everybody put it together.
Thank you very much, man. Next time in the D, I'm gonna definitely have to connect with you, man.
Come on, man. I got you. We got chicken and waffles ready for you here, man. Inshallah. Come through, man.
You know, definitely gonna have to connect with you. So, man, have a good night, brother.
Inshallah. I'm gonna tell my brother I connected with you. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Rhea. Assalamu alaikum to the judges and everybody else.
Assalamu
Like
Again, if you were if you were competing, please stick around.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Toure. Very, very nice hearing you.
Oh, alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, brother Moses.
Yeah, you can say that. Right?
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I saw the name come up. Thank you so much for coming in and just tapping in with us, vibing out on a Sunday. You could be anywhere in the world. You seriously could be anywhere in the world now in Corona.
All right, so I think this is everybody. Is this everybody? So what we wanted to do was just get everybody's like shirt size.
It's still live, brother.
Oh, so now everybody's still here?
We're gonna go off live.
All right, so you're free to go. Thank you for coming out.